This is 106.1 KYVZ. Good Monday morning. Joe Vazuric visiting with Ag meteorologist Chris Sramek at Decision Weather in Atwood, as well as WeatherValet. Chris, the big cleanup continues after a stormy weekend across the listening area.
Yeah, Joe, we saw quite an event there over the weekend, particularly on Saturday, where we just had basically a tornado that looks like it kind of lifted up and down north of town, and then got itself really going between Herndon and Ludell, and then as it crossed the highway and went south across southeastern parts of the county, turned into a really big tornado. Out ahead of that, in the Colby area, Selden area, back through Atwood, we got the effects of the wind gusts from the east and northeast and north directions, and saw the brownouts and the power lines get knocked over, and you name it. So we saw with one cell for about 15, 20 minutes a time, particularly here in Atwood, just about every type of weather. There was baseball-sized hail in some reports across that area, all the way from Stratton, Nebraska to Selden. Torrential rainfall, 5, 6, 4-inch amounts reported where the storms trained after the severe weather through the evening and into the early morning hours, and flooding of roads, and all the reports are coming in that available to severe weather reports. Out there this morning, we got an atmosphere that's still humid and unstable. We got dew points that are in the 60s again. We got temperatures that are in the 60s too. So that is dew point depressions less than 5. So we got some patchy fog. Last hour, it was at a quarter-mile visibility in Burlington. Now it's at 2. It's down to 5 miles in Goodland, 5 miles in McCook, 5 miles in Oberlin, but we still got about 100% relative humidity. So those clouds will be with us through the morning. They'll start burning off, drying out a little bit in the afternoon. The sun will pop out. That'll destabilize the atmosphere, but out in Colorado where there's more sun, we expect storms between 2 and 3, 4 o'clock to rapidly fire, become severe, and as they work their way to the Nebraska-Kansas borders in the evening, they'll more likely stay severe up to the north in Nebraska and the Panhandle with more energy, and northwest Kansas be pretty hit and miss and scattered. If we even see 1 or 2 at all, it'll be kind of a isolated event for at least northwest Kansas later in the evening. Temperatures will top out in the upper 70s, low 80s. Lows will drop to around upper 50s. And then tomorrow, again, same setup. The atmosphere is going to be capped a little bit during the day. Temperatures will top out around 80. Storms will fire out to the west and then move through later in the evening overnight. The severe thirst sweat tomorrow is going to be more likely during the late evening overnight period, with the potential for heavy rainfall. More widespread storm activity. And then as we go into Wednesday, almost a repeat scenario. 80s for a high, more sun destabilized out to the west during the day. Overnight, the storms will move through. So with the heavy rains that we saw south of town and the severe weather, any type of rain activity of an inch or more with that stuff will cause more flooding. We got the potential for the large hail and most likely wind gusts. I don't know if there's enough destabilization overnight to be a tornado. But active weather for the next 3 days. We'll still have the storm chances Thursday, Friday. And then before we know it, after a rainy, stormy week, we're going to be talking heat and 95, 98 degree temperatures for the weekend.
All right. It doesn't take long for the weather to change in this part of the world for sure. Once again, that's Ag meteorologist Chris Sramek at Decision Weather in Atwood, as well as WeatherValet. For KYVZ Radio, I'm Joe Vazuric.